Love you.
So here we are again for another episode of Brad and Mira for the Culture. Hi, Mira.
Hi, Brad.
If you're out there listening, please subscribe wherever you listen. You can also follow us on social media. I'm on Bluesky and Instagram. Mira is on Twitter and Instagram.
That's right. Mira Gons for both. G-O-N-Z.
G-O-N-Z, yeah. So,
M-I-R-A.
Mira, we have mail, right?
We have mail, yes. Would you like to read out our mail? This mail is a response to last week's mail about public pooping. You'll remember. I believe you mentioned that in an ideal world, public pooping would be an aspect of it, and I asked him to elaborate. So that is the mail that we're about to read.
Yeah, and for people who are just dropping in to this episode, like this is your first time listening, I just want you to know that we have been discussing, very much to my surprise, public pooping for like 5 consecutive episodes. This has become a saga.
I mean, to your surprise, but you are the one bringing it up, in all fairness.
Hey, I'm just telling you what's going on in my life. So just to give people context, I have been complaining about going into a particular public bathroom at a park here in Los Angeles. And I will walk in because I have to pee. And with like alarming frequency, there will be like a grown man sitting on the toilet with no door, just like scrolling on his phone and pooping.
And usually an elderly man, from what I understand. It's always old guys.
Well, I mean, middle-aged. I mean, there's a variety actually. So anyway, we've been talking about this, and then somebody out there listening has written to us to, share their thoughts. And
I do want to thank him. It's a very thoughtful response. He really put some effort into this one.
Yeah. So this listener says, who I think prefers to remain anonymous. Is that right?
Yeah, let's keep him anonymous.
Okay. He says, or she says, first off, I would like...
he.
Okay, it's a he. First off, he says, I would like to state that I get it. I don't desire to poop in front of anyone in a public setting. Stalls without doors are terrifying. But those thoughts and feelings come from having these ideas installed from growing up in this current form of human society. We are a very confused group of people filled with all sorts of shame and fear. Plus, we aren't really given the space to nurture the best versions of ourselves. It's not that it can't happen right now, but it's just really difficult and it takes a lot of energy. I think that he goes on to say that in a better society, we would look at pooping as something natural and necessary, an act that no one wants to do but has to do. So we just do it and move on. We would have designated bathroom areas which are no longer separated by gender. We wouldn't have any shame or fear around pooping or being naked around each other because we don't view our bodies as any one thing. It's just the human shell around our soul, which is the most important thing. We would all poop in giant shared open bathroom centers because all the things we think right now about that idea would not be in our brain because we would be raised in a world where those original anxieties don't exist.
Brad, your thoughts?
I mean, I sort of get it. I like the idea of less shame and fear, less body shame, but there's just something discourteous. And I'm also open to this idea. I think the thing that is most interesting to me is this idea of like open, gender-neutral bathroom centers.
Gender neutral, I get, but bathroom centers, that threw me off. That was like, I was like, all right, that's what exactly, like a rec center or are you talking about like a restaurant kind of thing?
I don't know, maybe some sort of complex of toilets in the public
right, like
sphere.
A mall kind of thing. Like you could have like different themed toilets in different rooms.
We do need more public toilets. I feel like
that's absolutely true.
Especially in
many more
big cities, and they should be. If they like, here's where I stand on it. I'm very simple in my preferences. Clean. I want public bathrooms to be clean, and I want there to be doors on the stalls.
I agree 1,000% about that. If that's happening, then I think like we're all good. And I'd like to add, the doors in the stalls should go to the floor. I don't want to see people's feet. You don't have to see that. It should just go all the way to the floor. You could have full privacy.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have them end like at your ankles.
Yeah. It's like, so I also like a splash guard in between urinals to,
Okay, see, I've never used a urinal, so that's
yeah.
beyond me, but
You need like
I agree.
a little partition, just some separation at like,
That's true, because then otherwise, like, everyone's looking at your dick. I guess that's happening all the time in men's bathrooms anyways.
yeah, I think it does. I think like there's side glance to like measure to see like how big the other person's penis is or how small. I think that
I mean,
happens.
like, if you're being totally honest with me and our listeners, have you ever, like, given a little glance over there? So just
Oh,
seeing, like, what's going on?
yeah, and then like it's like some guy with like a gigantic dick, and I'm like, oh my god, don't look at mine, don't look at mine.
See, okay, so don't look at my regular, serviceable, average,
Yeah,
fine dick.
exactly. My totally middle of the road penis.
See, okay, my take on this poop situation, I like the idea of it. I like the vibe that, like, yes, less shame. Nudity, I totally agree. I think that as a society we're really weird about nudity, and I think that, like, we could be less weird about it. I think it's just our bodies. If you're hearing heavy breathing, that's my dog on my lap, by the way, not me. Um I think that's absolutely right. I think we have too much shame as a society around, like, nudity, sex, bodily functions. However, I do think that a dislike of poop, a dislike of vomit, a natural sort of disgust towards those things is actually a human instinct to not want to be near something that could give you a disease. It's the same thing as, like, a dead body or like a dead animal. You have an instinct to not go near it because that is something that is a disease vector. And so I will say, like, sure, less shame around pooping, fine. But also, I think, like, it should be sort of separate and put away. Like, there's a reason why we have, like, indoor plumbing, and why, like, that had helped with a lot of diseases and shit like that. So public pooping centers, if it's just a very clean and large public restroom that exists in, like, a lot of different places, yes, 1,000%. But I don't know if it's a shame issue as much as it is a hygiene issue for me.
Yeah, I also think that in addition to this like instinct that we have, this kind of hardwired instinct to avoid things that could make us sick, is is this idea of vanity, which I've talked about. Vanity gets kind of a bad rap. I think some vanity is, I think it's actually a virtue.
Well, I think there's, like, a sometimes a fine line between, like, vanity and, like, self-care and dignity,
That's what I'm.
you
That's what I'm
know?
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like people who are just like, oh, they just let themselves go, and they're not like clean, and they don't like take care of themselves, and they just like,
Because it's for yourself, really, right? It's like, it's for other people in terms of, like, don't smell, but, like, taking care of yourself, not letting yourself go, making sure that you're clean, hygienic, like, that's, like, for you.
yeah,
That's important, like, as a person to feel good about yourself.
yeah, but it's also for others. Like
And is for
who
others.
wants to sit down like on an airplane next to some smelly person who's just like, I don't care. It's like, all right,
Exactly.
well, you
And it's
don't.
like, where is that vanity and where is that, like, just being, like, a nice person or to the people around you, and, like, not being discourteous, being, like, a member of society?
I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I have, I think, a healthy amount of vanity that motivates me to do a lot of the things that I do. I look at it as like it's a positive. Like I'm out like exercising and taking care of myself because I have a little bit of vanity, but I think it's serving me well.
Yeah, and also, like, I mean, even calling it vanity doesn't necessarily, like, vanity kind of implies something that's, like, not, that's, like, vapid, or that's, like, not good or something like that. And I don't even think it's that. I think it's, like, dignity. It's, like, a level of, like, wanting to present yourself in a way that is, like, dignified and that feels good for you and that feels like you're presenting yourself to society in the way you want to present yourself. And I think, like, vanity would go further than that and would become something that is, like, consuming and something that is a motivating factor in your life to become, like, more beautiful or to view other people as valuable based on their beauty. And, like, that's not even what it is as much as it is just, like, taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I just want these grown men to stop pooping in stalls with no doors. That's all I
You
want.
know, and you know what else? Speaking of grown men and hygiene, I want grown men to start washing their legs. Yes, their feet. We've discussed this.
Yeah.
But have you ever talked to a grown man about whether or not they wash their legs? Most of them will be like, yeah, the soap just runs down. No, it doesn't. No, the fuck it doesn't. People wash their legs, okay? You're supposed to wash your legs. If you shave your legs, that counts as washing your legs. But if you're a man and you don't shave your legs, put some fucking soap on put soap all over your body. The soap doesn't just fall down onto your legs. That's not a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just stay clean. It's simple.
Yeah. It's simple. And like wash your ass. It's not gay.
That's right. Just don't be.
It's not gay to touch your own asshole in the shower. Mark my words.
I can't believe we've had like a 5-week symposium that basically just comes down to like, please just be clean, take care of yourself. Like, don't be disgusting. I mean,
it's crazy that this is something that grown men do actually for real need to hear. You'd be shocked how many grown men I have told this to. Wash your feet, wash your legs, wash your ass. Like, what? Wear deodorant. My father, my fucking father, who I've got lots of issues with, not my stepdad, who I consider my father, who is a lovely man who never smells and who is very hygienic. My biological dad had decided in the last decade or so, all he does is take a all cold shower first thing in the morning, ice cold shower, in which he does not use soap, but he does use a like bristly brush and just brushes himself. I know that dry brushing is a thing. That's fine. You have to do it along with soap though, which my dad does not do. And then he does not use deodorant. And he's like, it's fine. People don't need deodorant. Yes, they do. You stink.
What a monster.
What a monster. Like, what the fuck? And then he's taking the bus, he's walking to work, he's like, oh, I'm walking, I love taking public transportation, which is great, but wash your body. Dad, if you're listening to this, wash your fucking body. I am fucking outing you to the public. If you ever become a public figure, I will go to page 6 with this information, just so you know, Daddy.
How spiritually broken do you have to be to just be sitting in a stall with no door and just like scrolling on your phone? And then I walk in and you just look up at me and you're just like, hey, like.
See, the question is, are you spiritually broken or are you spiritually free?
I think
there's a fine line.
I know there is, but I think it gets back to this issue of dignity.
Yeah,
it's a dignity
issue. Agree.
Let's just have some dignity. Let's maintain some basic norms around this. Let's not judge each other. Let's not shame each other for our
body. You have to poop. Fine.
Yeah, we all do it, right? Like, so let's
even in public, if it's an emergency, like, all right, I'm not going to immediately judge, but be courteous about it. Have a little shame. Maybe if you come to the door, be like, sorry, my bad, or something like that, just like, oh, like, situation here, hold on, like, not just like, hey, what's up? Like, that's really intense.
I'm really sorry, this is the most humiliating experience of my life, would be nice. Like, I know that you can never actually forgive me, but I beg for your forgiveness anyhow. Like, please give me a minute while I finish with this. Like,
please don't look at my shame.
Yeah, like, please forgive me while
avert your eyes.
I complete this outrageous and indefensible act of public defecation. All right.
I mean, it is in a restroom, but it does feel very public. That's true.
Yeah. So thanks to this anonymous listener. Thank you for keeping this this dialogue going, and I hope that we have answered your letter satisfactorily. If you are out there listening right now and you would like to write to us, if you have thoughts on this or please God, any other issue, you can email the show at letters@otherppl.com, letters@otherppl.com.
And we do encourage even emails that, might be seen as stupid or unnecessary. If you've had a couple glasses of wine and you listen to the podcast and you want to just say some shit, that is highly encouraged.
Yeah, we love drunk emails.
Yeah, drunk emails, stoned emails, take a hit of acid and just, say whatever the hell. Brad would love that.
I would love that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what do we got this week, Mira, in the popular culture that we need to talk about?
Well, I was very excited to see our first story is about one of my favorite topics to cover. Not pooping, not Taylor Swift, and not Ben Affleck, but Armie Hammer. Real heads will know that I would consider myself one of the foremost Hammer family scholars in at least California, probably top 20. I've really gone deep into this.
I think you're probably one of the foremost Hammer family scholars in the lower 48, I would guess.
That's pretty good. That's like Yeah, like obviously the dude who wrote the book that I read is a bigger, scholar than I am, but I did read the whole book, so
Yeah, you're in. And didn't you create a spreadsheet at some point or something? Like you had
I did. I have a spreadsheet that is 50 pages long, maybe longer. It's like as long as any book I've ever written. Like it is truly insane. I really got on a tip with that, and sometimes that happens to me. And it's because I'm unemployed. So, um this story, Armie Hammer is on a apology tour right now. He has become religious. He does have a podcast. He has been like defending himself against allegations saying that he was on drugs and a sex addict, blah blah blah. And the most recent thing that has happened, the apology tour has just been psychotic, by the way, like just not really effective, just all over the place, saying all kinds of crazy shit. The most recent crazy thing he said was that he admitted to taking a bite out of an animal's heart, but he denies cannibalism allegations. So I do want to compliment the writer of this Page Six article who just started the whole article with "eat its heart out." Period. Great, amazing start. So Armie Hammer has a podcast now. That is like a big part of his apology tour that he's been on, because obviously not a lot of people want him on their show or whatever the fuck. So he's just made his own. Oh, but this is on an episode of the Louis Theroux podcast, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to listen to that. So on Tuesday's episode of the Louis Theroux podcast, Armie Hammer addressed the rumors that he had taken a bite out of an animal's heart while it was still warm. Hammer 38 explained, Jesus, you take a bite out of the heart and you've got all your buddies around you. They're goading you on. It's sort of like almost an overly charged male rite of passage when you go hunting for your first time. Everyone that I know who went hunting for their first time had to do something similar. And then he clarified that it was not for the purpose of any cannibalism or sexual gratification. So this isn't even like the whole thing, but I already have like a lot of questions.
You know your life has gone off the rails when you are having to repeatedly clarify that when you bit into the animal's heart on your first hunting expedition, you were not sexually gratified.
I mean, yeah, some shit really has to happen there. Like that's like I can only think of two people in the world who would have to clarify that, and it's Armie Hammer and RFK Jr.
I gotta
Like those are
say,
the only ones.
yeah, and I gotta say though, in Army's defense, that this is just some weird guy shit. This hunting culture. You like,
Yes.
I want to say you drink the blood of your first kill. Like I've seen that. Remember the movie Red Dawn?
Hold
Uh,
the fuck up.
yeah.
You're telling me that like I'm hearing this and I'm like, this is insane. There's no way that everybody who hunts is like eating the hearts of their animals and shit like that. But you're telling me that is something that they drink the blood of
Yeah,
the first animal that they kill?
or they bite they bite the I mean, hunting is like the last thing I could ever imagine. I can't see any pleasure in going
Holy
out
shit. I knew
and,
hunting was fucked, but like I didn't realize that it was like people who hunt all have like a little RFK in their heart. Like
kinda, yeah.
that's fucking insane. Like it's like obviously a fucked up thing to do to just be like, I want to go kill animals for fun. But I guess I just never considered like that it would be taken further than that.
And
Like,
I think they're in their lot like the logic of the hunter is that like this blood drinking ritual or this heart eating thing is in some way like showing reverence for the animal, like the oneness of like the hunter and the hunted.
I mean,
That's the way
like
they would explain it.
that's psychotic and that's some weird male shit that is dumb and stupid. And it seems like it's also just sort of taking the idea from like Native Americans of like when you kill an animal, you should use every part of it, which, like, yes, I totally think that that's great. But that's not what they're doing. They're just like killing it and drinking the blood and being like, see ya. Don't they get diseases? Can you get a disease from that in a big way?
The whole thing makes no sense to me. What I will say, just because I'm a fair-minded individual, is that if you have no other options for food and you must
Yeah,
hunt, then go hunt and enjoy
of
your food.
course. And
But
even if like you're gonna go hunt an animal and feed your family for a month on that animal, and you're gonna use the skin for whatever the fuck, because you're like some, I don't know, hunter person who's whatever, that even that is like I would be okay with it. if it's not
Kind.
like a rare animal or whatever. Like, it's not, I would never do it and I would feel a little bit weird about it, but I feel way more okay about it than people just hunting for fun.
I just think it's got to be a necessity. If
Yeah.
it's not an absolute food necessity for you to do things this way, then why are you doing it?
I
What's the
I
sport? What's
agree.
the sport of it? You're tracking wild animals and shooting them with a gun. It just seems
Yeah,
crazy to me.
like, oh, big man, you're like a human with a gun and you're murdering like a fucking deer in the forest. Like, wow, that's just amazing. Don't you feel like you've got a big dick? I mean, Jesus Christ. It does like it does sort of feed into my not even theory, it's just like a fact. If somebody is torturing small animals, they aren't just torturing small animals. Nobody is just like, oh, I'm just going to torture small animals. The end. They're hurting humans 100% of the time. Like
Or
they
they
just
or
are.
they
That
or they
is,
want to. They dream of it.
yeah. Or they're going to. They like want to, and maybe you're going to try it. You know, like that's like you don't just torture small animals and like not have the desire to do more than that. So when Armie Hammer talks about taking the heart out of an animal and he's like, oh yeah, I was just like, impressing my bro friends. Like, no, you weren't. You're not fucking shotgunning a beer. You're not like jumping off of a tall roof into a pool. You're eating the warm heart of a fucking animal. Are all of his friends also fucking cannibals? Like, what the fuck?
There's a line, I want to say it's from a writer named Vance Borgelli, like just to get nerdy here, where he said something to the effect of like the size of the prey is like commensurate with like how broken the soul is of the hunter.
Yes, that
Like
checks out.
like if you're hunting an elephant, like you're in bad shape.
But also, if you're hunting small baby birds and shit like that, it's like it's kind of like a circle where it's like if you're hunting big animals, you're really fucked. If you're hunting the really tiny ones in a really fucked up way, you're also really fucked. It's like somewhere in between is less fucked.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like find a new sport. It's like, well, it was passed down to me from my dad. Right.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Like I had my dad fucking takes cold showers and doesn't use deodorant. I don't do that. I didn't have that passed down from my father. We can
That's right.
fucking move on from our fathers. The
Let's break
sins of the father or whatever. Hello, it's a thing.
let's break the cycle.
And so, okay, so on this podcast, he also addressed Thoreau then asked Armie to comment on the cannibalism claims made by his exes, which he had already denied. So, for those of you who don't follow it, there's a bunch of messages that came out between Armie and an ex of his that was like, I literally want to eat you. I want to eat one of your ribs. And he took multiple girlfriends to doctors to like literally see if he could surgically get a rib removed so that he could eat it. So, like, we're kind of in a Cannibal Cop situation here. He probably didn't literally eat somebody, but, like, clearly he wants to. And I'm sorry, if Cannibal Cop, like, could go to jail for that, like, I would say Armie was planning it just as much as the Cannibal Cop was, but
Wait,
whatever, that's just me.
who's Cannibal Cop? Why do I not know about this?
Oh, wow, this will be a mini Brad Learns because it's a very big story. But basically, there was years ago, maybe like a decade ago, maybe more, there was a cop who was posting on a forum and was talking to one specific guy. It was like a cannibalism forum, basically, where he was like in great detail talking about how he wanted to murder and eat his wife. Like really, really great detail to the point where he did go to jail for it. Like that's how detailed it was. Even though he did not even hurt his wife at all. So, like, this is feeling a lot like a Cannibal Cop situation to me. He is clearly planning on doing some cannibalism here. I don't know how it could be more clear, but he has denied the claims. And he said, you know what you have to do to actually be a cannibal? You have to actually eat human flesh. So, no, I'm not a cannibal. And he even pointed out that he had never done anything illegal, though he showed remorse for exhibiting poor behavior, saying, I left a lot of people in that wake very angry at me for my behavior. Asshole behavior. There's no way around that, he said. Does it make me a dick? Absolutely. Like, I have no problem admitting that I was a dick. That's not illegal. So, like, his whole thing has basically been saying, like, yeah, I'm a cannibal. Yeah, I did some abuse. Yeah, like, I had some bad ideas or whatever. But now I found God. And technically, I didn't actually do any of those things. So it's fine.
And we eat Jesus's body, right?
Yeah. So it's like, that is that cannibalism? I mean,
Yeah.
what, are we gonna fucking get mad at everyone who goes to church now? I mean, let's not be crazy.
Yeah, that's why he's into it. The body of Christ.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to eat bodies now because I was so into eating the body of Christ. Like, he's just got like boxes of communion cookies just in his house, just that he just eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What a fucking like, I feel like maybe this desire of his was thwarted by the public outing, and maybe
Maybe.
he was like possibly on the precipice of actually like crossing the line and
I
cannibalizing
mean, again,
somebody.
he took multiple girlfriends to doctors to see if they could surgically remove a rib.
So what was he gonna
And
do?
like,
Like, was he gonna like grind like a rib bone into gristle or like into
no, no,
dust?
no, he was gonna grill it like a rib and eat it.
But there would have to be like real flesh and meat on that rib, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This guy seems really damaged, and I feel like I keep thinking when you talk about like this apology tour that he's on. Seems like this apology tour is probably going to last the rest of his life, or at least it could. Like, what do
Yeah,
you?
100% it is.
I like the idea of
Absolutely.
I like the idea of like a 40-year apology tour.
That's what Armie Hammer's going to be on. Either he's going to accept, okay, I don't get to be famous, or he's going to go on a 40-year apology tour. Like, that's all it is. And the only thing that I can say for him, literally the only positive thing that I can say besides that he's like handsome, I guess, is like he has not gone down the route of like a Dave Chappelle or whatever, where he's like, okay, now all of my best friends are transphobes and now I'm like leaning hard right or whatever, which like I'm sure he is, but like he's not talking about it. It's like the one thing that has made his apology tour like, I guess, less annoying, like more insane, more bad, worse. Like he's doing a much worse job than any of those people, but it's at least more interesting. He's like on the Louis Theroux podcast saying crazy shit about cannibalism instead of like being on stage with Dave Chappelle and saying I'm being silenced, you know?
Sort of, this really does feel like where our culture's at, where you got some guy who's like a handsome movie star who had a couple of roles that people know him for, gets caught up in this scandal, and then going forward, as like the wheels continue to come off and culture just continues to degenerate, he's literally going to spend the rest of his life just going on podcasts, like
Yeah.
apologizing and claiming that he's not a cannibal.
Yeah. And like also, like for those who don't know, which maybe it's a lot of people, because again, I'm one of the foremost scholars of the Hammer family. Armie's father died recently, like last year or maybe the year before. And he had full control over he was the executor of the will and trust of his grandfather, who is Armie Hammer, who made all of the money for the family, essentially. So his dad, Armie's dad, was the one who had control of the entire family fortune. And he has, like, denied several members of his family any money at all and given a shitload of money to, like, born-again Christian, like, foundations, churches, shit like that. And so now that he's died, we don't know who's in control of the family money, but my assumption, based on like the donations that he's given and where his money has gone, is that the wife is in control of all the money and she's really religious. And so I do think that this apology tour is Armie's way of getting some money.
I mean,
because he can't get it from acting anymore.
I was going to say, he's got to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
The whole born
And
again
he's
thing.
used to being rich.
Yeah, the whole born again thing as a piece of this like familial puzzle, it just adds. I mean, it just makes it that much crazier.
It really does. And just, you know what? It's not just his dad's wife, it's his mother. It's his biological mom, now that I remember, because she, when he was young, was under the belief that he was infested by a devil, exorcist style, and would do things like wake him up in the middle of the night by like pouring oil on his head and doing exorcisms on him as a child. So that's like the kind of mother that he had and like what she thought of him. And he was kicked out of like 4 different high schools for arson. So I guess I kind of understand why she thought he was a demon.
This guy never had a chance.
No, he's always been a fucking freak, and his whole family has, and like no man in that family ever stood a chance. They're all just, the psycho is like so deep in their genes that it cannot be escaped. It's like Kennedy's and dying on planes.
God. Well, all right. Well, what else is happening in the popular culture?
Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, so this is this is actually my first time seeing this story. I woke up a little late this morning and didn't quite get to all of the pop culture news, but apparently Rep. Lauren Boebert, who is a congresswoman, is that right?
Congresswoman from Colorado.
Congresswoman from Colorado was spotted getting into a cab with Kid Rock at 2:30 a.m. Holy shit.
Well, Lauren Boebert also sort of infamously was caught on camera, like giving a hand job to like some guy she was on a first date with or something at, I think, a performance of Beetlejuice.
It was a local performance of Beetlejuice. I mean, I heard a take from somebody recently that was like, obviously very disrespectful to do that at a play production. However, if you're gonna give a hand job at any, and vape, by the way, she vaped in there. If you're gonna do that at any production of anything, like a local production of Beetlejuice might be the way to go. Like, it would be pretty disrespectful if you like paid thousands of dollars to see Hamilton and then you were doing that in Hamilton, you know, like that would be like pretty intense. Or like if you went to go see Wicked and it was like Defying Gravity and you're just like fucking jerking some guy off, like that would be pretty intense. So I guess it's like a better choice than some things.
Yeah, if you're going to give somebody a hand job, do it at the local community theater. I mean,
That's right. That's right. Make sure to support your community.
Have some respect.
So, man, I mean, if this woman was like a leftist politician, I would be like, you fucking go, girl, get it, like whatever. But like, she's such a bad person. Holy shit. I mean, not with Kid Rock. That's just like unacceptable no matter what.
So she gets into a cab with Kid Rock at 2:30 in the morning is when this was happening, right?
And again, I do have to just give props to the Page Six writer who first line said, perhaps they were going somewhere to discuss the Second Amendment. And so, okay, they saw Kid Rock and Rep. Lauren Boebert get into a cab in Washington, D.C. at 2:30 a.m. as parties celebrating the beginning of Donald Trump's second term wound down. While our rather tawdry source suggested the pair planned to keep the inaugural balls swinging into the wee hours, we have no evidence to suggest that was the case. Damn, the Page Six writers go hard as hell, dude.
I think they slept together. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Of course they did. Like, you don't get into a cab at 2:30 with somebody unless like they're your best friend or you're fucking them. That's it.
That's it. Like, what are you doing?
That's literally it. Or it could be like a girl that you met at the bar who, like, if you're another girl, you decided that you're best friends and then you share a cab together to your separate houses. Fine. That's it.
Kid Rock is he's like the right-wing rock star, right? He's the guy. I don't see what the appeal is. He doesn't strike me as I guess if you're a rock star, you're a musician, that's attractive on some level.
I think that's literally it, is like he's just one of the only actually famous rock stars in the entire world who's like, I love Donald Trump. Besides fucking Snoop Dogg, which like, fuck you, Snoop Dogg. You can eat shit in a hole.
Wait, what did Snoop Dogg do? What did he do?
Oh, wow, you're really not paying attention to the news. That's good for you, Brad. He played Trump's inauguration.
Why?
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. I worked for Snoop Dogg, and let's fucking talk. He will do anything if they pay his fee. That's why you see him fucking everywhere, is that he has a fee. He has a fee for everything. He has a commercial fee. He has a fee for being on a song. He has a fee for representing a brand, and they're all very specific. And if anybody meets those criteria, he will fucking do it. He is a sellout first and foremost. Tupac was right about him. He's a fucking snake is what he is. He'll do anything for $1. That's the thing about him. He's fun. He has parties. He gives people weed. He's like, oh, weed smoking grandpa, blah, blah, blah. In the end of the day, him and his wife, who I only know as Boss Lady, and I actually really liked her, whatever, will do anything for a penny. Anything. He's calling him a whore is too complimentary because whores actually do like good work that is good for the world.
I don't fault somebody for making $1. I mean, if he's like, but he's so rich. At
Trump's inauguration.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You've got to have there needs to be a line.
There needs to be a limit. It's like, okay, fine, Bic lighters. Yeah, go represent Bic lighters, whatever. Do a Super Bowl commercial even. Do whatever the fuck. Fine. Seeing Snoop around is kind of funny. Like seeing him represented, do a weird wine brands, do weed brands. But like Trump's inauguration, really? Like you don't have enough money already?
Yeah, I mean that's part of what sort of sickens me about like pop culture nowadays, and it's I guess because of how fragmented everything is, and the internet and the social media of it all, and the streaming of it all. But like, there used to be a pretty like clear line between like Hollywood movie actors and television commercials. That was you didn't see it. Nowadays, like, does Matthew McConaughey do anything but just be a corporate pitch man for like a
Well,
bunch of
it's fucked up because it's like these companies are the ones that really have the money to pay these actors like the what they potentially deserve, and like the studios. I mean, so many of them are just like massively famous actors, and you really like I like just think that they're being fucking greedy pigs, honestly. But it's also sad that like studios don't have the money to like pay actors as much as these potential commercials do because like we're funding corporations more than we are fucking art.
yeah, I mean, like, you got enough money. Do you really need to be on every commercial? You're just taking the money, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's like you're just taking the money. That's what it is. It's like I think that everybody, they say everybody has a price, right? It's like if they're offering you, $1 million to do a Shell Oil commercial, maybe that's not enough. But if they're offering you 50 million, well, then you got to really think about it, right? You've got agents, you've got managers, they all want you to do it. They all want their percentage. And like you've got to have a really good team and be really fucking stubborn. And if you're that famous and you have that much money, it can't be that fucking hard. You like have all the money in the goddamn world. Why do you have to do shit? Just hang out at home.
Would you do a Shell Oil commercial for $50 million?
At this point in my life now, or like as a famous person who already has money?
No, like if they came to us and they were like, Brad and Mira, we want you to be our celebrity spokespeople.
50 million? I mean, the thing is like now at this point in my life, I would think about it. If I had $1 million in my bank account, I don't think I would do it.
I feel like it would be agonizing because I think I would objectively know that it would be it would be like cursing yourself to do that. To cross that line would be really
We would have to
dark.
donate like 3/4 of the money to like Extinction Rebellion or something like that, is what I would have to do. Is I would have to donate at least half of the money, if not more, to like something that is directly opposing Shell Oil.
Yeah, we would have to just like go to like Greta Thunberg and just like beg for her
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Yeah. Be like, here's a bunch of money. Do literally whatever you want with it. We're so sorry. This was a bad idea. Like, we needed the money so bad.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, Mira?
You're ruining our future. How dare you?
How dare you, Mira?
I do want to take a second to just shout out Greta Thunberg, who never got less radical, only got more radical to the point where, like, you don't see her on the news anymore. And you know why? Because she is an anti-war advocate now. And she recognized that that is the most important thing to do for the environment. And you know what? Shout out to that angry little girl. Fucking, she rules. I love
Yeah,
her.
she's got moral clarity.
Yeah, she really, nobody has moral clarity like that child does, and she had it since she was like so young. It's really like fucking crazy. Like she's got good parents, is what she's got.
Yeah, and I think that it's just like a sad commentary on everyone else. Like because like here's the thing,
Yeah,
like to have that moral clarity really isn't hard. Like war is bad. Like war
yeah,
is like that should be a pretty easy calculation, but it's like the fact that she's so willing to kind of like do shit is inspirational.
yeah. The way that she's willing to like put her life and body and future and face like on the line for that, like entirely, and making that her entire life is like, and like
Heroic.
especially for like Palestine, like people are having their entire fucking careers ruined over saying free Palestine, and she is out here like making it her entire life. Like
Yeah.
hell yeah,
She's got balls.
she's got balls. Absolutely, she's got balls.
And Lauren Boebert had Kid Rock's balls in I would imagine, some sort of Washington D.C. hotel suite. It's just because he's like the king of white trash kind of rock star.
Imagine his balls, they're probably so low, covered in gray hair. Like I'm sure he doesn't like take care of them either, like he's probably got bad hygiene.
I was gonna say he's not washing his legs.
No, and he's not washing his balls either, I'll tell you that much.
Good God, I just and she's like an archetype, this like sort of right wing, sexy woman who's into guns and like
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like slutty.
Yeah, she's like the dark haired one, and then there's that other lady who represents the blonde version of the same thing. Fucking what's her face? Is she in Congress?
And yet it's somehow like received as an avatar of like Christian values. It's also bananas and just like so
Yeah.
transparently horseshit.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's like, okay, you're gonna be like a big titted slutty woman who is like giving a hand job during Beetlejuice. At least fucking embrace it. Like, don't be like, oh no, Christian values. Like, bitch, you were jerking him off during a local showing of Beetlejuice. Like, if you could have, you would have jerked him off to completion and then had the cup in your hand. That is not Jesus approved. Sorry.
I feel like we're very close to our first congressional sex tape. That's my prediction. There's going to
Well,
be
did
one.
you not see the twink in the fucking congressional chambers getting his ass ruined?
Oh, I think I did hear about this by a congressperson or by just somebody else.
I think it was like a, well, we don't know who was doing the fucking, but the bottom was like a congressional like aide or something like that.
I'm sure. I mean, it's not that like a sexual act has never been taped involving someone in Congress. I'm sure that's happened a billion times, but it just feels like we're going to get like the public sex tape of a
Oh yeah,
congressperson.
I hope so.
It's going to happen this term. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Who do you think it's going to be? Should we place bets?
I mean, Boebert would have to be a front runner, but if I had to put a wager down, I would definitely say Mitch McConnell. Just his jowls just trembling,
just fucking just swaying,
just swaying,
just swaying,
his jowls just swaying rhythmically,
causing a wind as it swayed, just like paper in the wind.
I must say that I am aroused.
I'm gonna ejaculate soon.
If you could just make my jowls sway, I'd be very much obliged.
Did you see how I don't know if it was this week or last week, he fell down twice?
Yeah,
in
he's
the same
mess.
day. Yeah, he's a fucking mess. I really wish that he would have I wish that something would have happened that I'm not going to say out loud on the podcast.
He's as responsible for the mess that we're in as anybody. He deserves
absolutely.
no quarter. No quarter.
Yeah. No. I mean, frankly, he should die. I mean, that's what I was not going to say on the podcast, and I just said it. I think Mitch McConnell should die soon.
And
I think that would be nice.
It should happen, during a sex tape recording.
So true.
Experiences cardiac arrest and collapses.
Yeah. A Mitch McConnell sex tape snuff film.
At the Watergate Hotel.
Exactly. So our next story, our next story has a Brad fashion element attached to it that I'm very excited for. And I am gonna find a picture of that right now.
We should let people know that we discovered last week, almost by accident, that I am a savant when it comes to evaluating fashion.
It's it was genuinely shocking. We did analysis of Grammy's fashion, and Brad was like, I'll do the let me try it. I think that I know a little bit about women's fashion. Nailed it. I mean, down to the cuts of the dresses and where they were unflattering, what accessories he would get rid of. Amazing. So we are now going to make this, I've decided, a recurring segment. So we are going to analyze Taylor Swift's Super Bowl fashion choices. But first, we have a story, which is that at the Super Bowl, which her boyfriend Travis Kelce did lose. I didn't watch it, but I think he lost pretty badly too.
Yeah, it was an absolute annihilation. It was painful. Really? It was painful to watch.
Had they played that badly throughout the season?
No, they had the best record in the NFL.
And then they just fucked up?
They played poorly, and the Eagles played like a perfect game, basically. But the Eagles are just really, really talented. And they're if you know football, the Eagles defensive line and the Eagles offensive line are both the best in football. And they were just way more physical, and they just pummeled Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, they beat the shit out of Patrick. It was painful to watch.
Damn, dude. And so Taylor's reaction seemed not good. She was she was like frowning. She like didn't leave with him. Like she like left like him to just leave the Super Bowl by himself.
Well, he
Which
had
is
to
like
go. He has to leave with the team. He can't just like take off with her, I don't think.
she left with him every game before this. Like he would like leave with the team and then she would leave the stadium with him.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I
Yeah, and
don't
she
know.
did not this time, which like could have been a safety thing, but
She's like, ew, loser.
I
Bye.
mean, honestly, like I don't think that Taylor Swift would voluntarily date a losing football player. I think there's a reason why she dated like the best football player and not a losing one. She does not like losing.
Yeah, she's like, this was only fun when like we were out there making out and the confetti was falling.
Yeah, exactly. When
Now
it
that you
was
just
like
get your
a
ass kicked.
yeah, an incredible love story and like that's it. I'm trying to find a good picture of her Super Bowl outfit right now.
I should say
Which
too
like
that I did not see, like I must not have been watching. I'm sure they panned to show her in the stands, but I did not see her outfit. I've not seen what she wore. So this will be the first
okay,
time
this
that
will be
I've
the
laid
first
eyes on
time.
it. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm seeing the picture of the under outfit, but I want to see a picture of her fucking fuck ass coat. Okay, here we go. So, so basically, so she was in the Super Bowl. This story that we have is that anytime that she would come up on the jumbotron, I guess everybody would boo, um, which is like so stupid.
I can explain this. This
Uh
is
huh.
it's very easy to explain. It has nothing to do with her music or even her.
No.
It's because the Eagles fans in the dome in New Orleans outnumbered Chiefs fans like 25-1.
Oh, because it was a home game for
No, it was in New Orleans, but just a lot more Eagles fans were there.
I
And
see.
so it probably sounded like a home game for the Eagles to some degree, but like the Eagles, like Philadelphia sports fans are
Hmm.
notoriously insane, like in a way that's actually kind of funny. Like it's crazy. Like they are truly crazy. And so, yeah, they see Taylor Swift up on that jumbotron. She's going to get booed. That's just
Yeah.
Philly.
Right. And so like last Super Bowl, were they in like wherever the Kansas City Chiefs, were they in Kansas City for the last Super Bowl?
No, the Super Bowl is traditionally held at a neutral venue. It's not held,
I see.
though when the Rams beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, it just so happened that the Super Bowl was in Los Angeles. That has happened in the past, but it was not like you don't get a home
It
game.
wasn't intentional.
That's right.
Okay, so let's see. I've got Taylor Swift Super Bowl outfits up here, and we're going to talk about them. So I have a couple of pictures just because like there's a couple of different aspects to this outfit. So uno momento. Here
What
we
are you doing?
go.
Are you photoshopping it?
I'm photoshopping it. Yeah, exactly. No, I am let's see, trying to share my screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have Taylor Swift's Super Bowl outfit. I've got a couple different pictures of it. So this first picture is showing basically her outfit is like, how would I explain it? So she's wearing shorts that are denim, but they're like bedazzled is kind of the only word that I can think of. They're like shiny, kind of have like a, maybe it's rhinestones, maybe it's sequins, maybe it's studs. I'm not totally sure, but they're shiny. And then she is wearing a white tank top, just like a wife beater tank top. And then she is also wearing, you'll notice you notice right here if you're looking, she's wearing the T that she was wearing around her thigh at the Grammys, which could stand for Taylor or Travis. We have no idea.
But she moved it up to her she
To
moved
her
it up
neck.
to her neck like as a
Yeah, she's
necklace.
wearing it like a necklace. So here we see she is wearing boots that are like white leather boots that are pretty loose, but they go above her knee, which is like something that she loves wearing. Another picture of that. You can see her dad in the bottom corner. And then here we have some pictures of her reacting to the game, and she looks shocked. So you can see she's wearing this blazer at first, this white blazer that matches her white boots, and then she takes it off and has the shorts outfit underneath. And I don't have a picture of it, but she was holding like a little red handbag. So my first question before you say anything is just that why she wore red to like every game before this. Is white also a Kansas City color?
No, I was going to say the exact same thing. Where's your spirit?
So why is she wearing white? I mean, she has like red accessories, like the necklace and the bag, but is like, why is she wearing white?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, because
Okay, so you don't. There's no reason.
like waving a flag of surrender. Like, I have no
Huh.
idea.
Yeah, I feel like that cursed the game to be this fuck ass outfit cursed the game in my opinion. So Brad, what are your thoughts on this outfit? Let's just go back to the boots really quick so you can see those.
Yeah, I don't. I think the first thought is that this coat that she's wearing on her way in, like, why not have? I don't like it at all, and it's way too formal. It seems weird to
Mm-hmm.
wear this to the Super Bowl.
And to wear
Uh,
it over those shorts.
yeah, like it's a mismatch. This coat that she's wearing looks like some sort of. It looks like a blazer almost,
It is, yeah. It's like a large, like kind of men's double-breasted blazer.
and it's like the palest yellow color.
It's like a cream white, which is kind of hard to see. It matches the boots.
Oh, okay, cream white. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like in that photo, it looks tinged a little yellow. But like, okay, I can see
yeah.
cream. I just don't think it fits the moment, and I don't like the fit, and I just don't like the look at all. I will say that the part of her outfit underneath the coat that I have the most trouble with are the boots.
The
But
boots.
I just think like, like what she's wearing, like bedazzled short shorts and a white tank top, aside from the fact that it's totally not spirited for the Chiefs, like there's no Chiefs flair. That's
Hmm.
really, this is a fine Super Bowl outfit. Like,
Yeah, for
eh,
like a normal person without the boots, if she was wearing the shorts and the top,
yeah, the boots just look weird to me. Like, what
the
is
boots are
these?
weird.
Yeah, the boots are weird. The short shorts I think are cute. Like, whatever. The white tank top, like I mean, that's a
It's cute,
very,
Americana, whatever.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like, it's not a controversial thing. It's totally
right.
normcore. But I
But
feel like,
considering she's like stylish always at the Super Bowl and her outfits are a thing, it does feel like jeans and a top. Like what?
why not wear some red boots? Like, that would have been the thing to do.
Like a lot of confusing elements of this outfit. Beside, like, first of all, Taylor Swift's fashion sense, as we've said before, is like a little questionable in general. But like these boots, that blazer, and then this outfit underneath, like I couldn't be more confused. It just does
Who's
not
she
add up.
standing there? Who's this guy next to her?
That's her brother, Austin.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know. She has a
Isn't
brother.
the attractiveness differential is pretty insane, isn't it?
What's he if looks like he's wearing like a karate outfit, like a is he wearing a kimono? What is he wearing?
No. He's wearing like a denim, like a corduroy shirt, but it's just unbuttoned like one button too low, so it really does look like a robe or something, like a kimono, like Hugh Hefner kind of robe situation.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, her outfit is a complete mess. I do feel like the fact that the outfit is all white and not red, like, probably cursed the Chiefs in general. Like, that's fucking crazy. She is somebody who really believes hard in, like, fucking, like, voodoo. I don't know, like, believes in, like, fucking numerology, like, good luck, bad luck, all that shit. And she's out here wearing white to the Super Bowl game. Sorry, she cursed it.
Tree Payne needs to get her a stylist. Like, I know she has a stylist, but she needs
She's
to
got, like,
like,
50.
is she not listening to these people? Like, I feel like there's no excuse for Taylor Swift to not be the best dressed person at every event that she goes to.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like, even if you're a famous person with all the money in the world for stylists and whatnot, first of all, they're stylists with bad taste. And I think that might be, Taylor Swift's issue. Because if you have certain taste as a celebrity, you're going to gravitate towards stylists that have that same taste. And therefore, you're going to look like shit. And like, even if the stylist has pretty good taste, they're going to come to you with a couple of different outfits. And then you, as the celebrity, are going to be able to choose. And like, she's clearly choosing the worst outfits.
I would give anything to have a stylist.
Man,
And
it
like,
would
but I
be
mean,
so fun.
to have the money to, no, just to take I don't want to have to think about that. Just like bring shit to me. I can point, you get it, put it in my closet, make sure it
See, like,
fits.
I want a stylist who's like gonna make me look so fabulous, and then they'll like bring clothes like to my house and have like whatever amount of outfits, and I'll be like, yes, that one, that one, that one. But like, I
Yeah.
want them to like be like, they would have to be like so stylish and like so. I have stylists in mind for if I were a famous person who I would choose as my stylist. Like
Who would you choose? I don't even know who they are.
Rihanna stylist, God, whose name I'm forgetting, and people listening to this podcast are gonna remember it. That is one of the main people that I would choose. And then Chapel Roan stylist also is like fucking incredible. Hold on. Rihanna stylist is also Zendaya stylist.
Oh yeah, I know
Um,
I actually know who you're talking about because
yeah,
I
Jaheel
rem
Weaver.
is that who it is?
Yeah, and there's like another one too.
I don't feel like
Fucking
Jahil Weaver would be able to style me. I feel like it's a guy, right? It's be like
yeah,
I feel like he'd just be like, yeah, we're gonna have to outsource you to somebody else.
like because you're too boring.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can go get some New Balance sneakers or whatever.
Yeah, I'd be like, my assistant can dress you.
She's an
Like
intern.
I've got an intern.
Yeah, she's an intern. She's just starting out, but she'd be a great fit for you. She really loves corduroy pants and New Balance
Corduroy
sneakers.
pants. So okay, so I actually want you to also take a look at Travis Kelsey's Super Bowl outfit because it's I have questions.
I feel like I gotta say, I feel like his fashion has gotten a lot more questionable since he started dating Taylor.
Well, Taylor Swift gave him a budget for designer clothes when they started dating. Was like, you get X amount of money for designer clothes, and here's my stylist. So yeah, she's been styling him. This is the outfit that he wore going into and leaving the Super Bowl, which is very funny to me because he looks like a 70s porn star. He's got this kind of like extra long blazer. It's all in kind of like a muted red, like a burgundy-ish red, but red. And it's like a long red blazer. He's got kind of like loose dress pants on in the same color. It's like a whole suit, but it's very 1970s. And then he's got a sequin shirt underneath that's kind of buttoned low. And then he's got a silver necklace on and like a gold rose lapel pin. And then like Hunter S. Thompson style yellow aviators. Brad, your thoughts?
I gotta say, I think it's cool, and I like it because it's not. I mean, it's obnoxious, and it's not something I would ever wear, and it's not something that you should wear really, unless you're either like a pimp or you're an NFL football player, like doing this.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is like this is another sign of the times in a way that the culture is degenerating. Is that like professional sports have now become integrated with high fashion where like the walk into the venue, like the walk into the stadium
It's like a red
has
carpet.
it's like a red carpet or a catwalk. It's also
I love
fucked
it.
up. Ugh, that's why I
I think
guess
it's
like
great.
that's the thing. They're trying to expand. Maybe that's a smart move by these sports leagues to broaden the appeal of their players by adding fashion to the thing. But if you're walking into the Super Bowl and it's in New Orleans, I mean, he looks cool in a way.
He
I
looks
think
cool
that
as hell, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that those shoes are such an interesting choice. These like two-tone black and white loafers.
Yeah, they're
W-
like the same, like they're the same as like wingtip shoes would be, but they're not wingtipped. It's just like white on top, and then the sole is black.
Yeah, and
They're
like
almost like creepers.
it actually works. They're actually Skechers. You just step right into them.
Skechers. Skechers with the S.
You don't even have to tie them. But yeah, I don't know. I think the bag looks kind of cool. I kind of covet that bag. It's probably
Yeah, I
like
think
some
it's Louis.
yeah, it looks like it's like a $10,000 bag
Oh
probably or
yeah, more
maybe more.
maybe. I love this outfit, and I think the fact that he lost and had to leave the Super Bowl in this outfit is like really fucking funny because he looks like a rich 70s porn star, and it's just like not the outfit that you want to wear like after like losing it's a winning outfit. It's not a losing the Super Bowl kind of outfit.
I think that it would be see, I would get on board with this whole football fashion trend if like when you lose there's also like a red carpet and you have to wear some sort of humiliating outfit on the way out the door.
I could not agree more. Like you have to wear like a dunce cap or like you have to like wear like makeup or something like
Or
something
just
fucked
like
up,
little Bo Peep.
ill-fitting.
Yeah, just something awful. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
something really just like degrading.
Yeah. Like what about like an ill-fitting version of like the outfit that you wore coming in? That seems good. Like you just have to get like a smaller, like not well-fitting, fucked up version of the outfit that you came when you came in.
Yeah, and they just parade you out just as a loser. But
So,
we
okay.
should not feel bad for the Kansas City Chiefs. They've won like 4 Super Bowls, I want to say, 3 or 4 over the
And
past like
honestly,
6 years.
like so do you think that Travis is going to quit football after this?
No,
No, you
I
think it's going
do.
to go another year?
I think he'll go at least one more year. He's one of these guys who they're going to have to drag him off the field. Like, but
Yeah.
he's getting old. His body has taken a lot of punishment.
He has
And
chronic pain. He's in pain all the time, he says.
well, look, and he he could end up having CTE or God knows what. Like these guys are
I think he's
really.
already got a little CTE. He's got like the fun kind of CTE. He's got the
It's
kind that like makes you jolly.
yeah, let's hope. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but
No.
it's like his entire identity. I feel bad for athletes on this level because you basically have to like it's an enforced retirement by the age of 40, and that's like basically your entire sense of self just gets trashed. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of the same for female musicians. A lot of them female pop stars. You see Katy Perry, you see Lady Gaga, you see all these fucking people who are just like they hit their mid 40s and they're gone.
I think Gaga's going to have a long career. She'll be around.
She might. I think that she's got an ability to like reinvent herself and like not base her image on being young and sexy as much as like being an artist. And like I really hope that she's gonna like go back to that and not do the fucking Joanne whatever the fuck she was doing with that album where it was like jean shorts stripped down like I'm not Lady Gaga anymore. That was some bullshit.
Wait, was that like a concept album where she took on a different identity?
Yeah, I mean like she takes on a different like, look and identity with every album. But
wait, but like she changed her name though?
No, this album was the documentary about Lady Gaga, I want to say it was called 5'3" or something like that, was about her making the album Joanne. I think it was called Joanne, yeah, which was like a concept album about I guess it was her aunt who died because she got, I want to say like leprosy or something like that. Then her hand stopped working and it was like some crazy shit where like her mom didn't want to cut her hands off. So she just like let her die of leprosy or something like that. And it's supposed to be this like heartwarming, sad story. And that's what the whole album is about. I recommend that documentary. Like I could not recommend it more. It is bonkers. Like so bonkers. You can't, like Lady Gaga does this thing where if she's in a meeting with her staff that the staff isn't agreeing with her, it's not going her way, she will take her top off. She will just take her top off and be like, this is more comfortable for me. And then everyone's uncomfortable because her tits are out and she wins the argument. It's crazy.
I gotta see it. 5'3"?
I think it's called 5'3". It's on Netflix.
I gotta say, like as a member of my family, my mother's maiden name is Carville. I am the first cousin once removed of James Carville, the political guy.
Are you pranking me? Is that really true?
It's true. I've only met him once, but my mom's a Carville. And
wait, how are you related to him again? To Jimmy Carville?
He's my mom's first cousin, so that makes him my first cousin once removed. His mother.
This is a Brad fact that is like incredible that I never knew.
Yeah, well, his mother was my mom's Aunt Nippy, I think is what she was called, and she was like a great Southern lady, kind of a character, which is like I think where he gets it from. And the name Carville, there's a town in Louisiana, in South Louisiana, which is like where my people come from, and it's called Carville. And it was for many years the home to the only leprosarium in the United States, or like one of two or something like that. So
is that like where lepers are, like a leper colony?
Yeah. And so like it's called Hansen's disease. I think leprosy is maybe like outdated or something. But I want to say I want to say it's called Hansen's disease. And so they had like nuns, and I want to say there was some religious component to it to like treat these people. But that
is crazy.
That leprosarium, I mean, it's a small town, like near the Mississippi River, and it's called Carville, and that's where it was, and now it's a museum.
Wow, this is like we're learning some really deep Brad lore here. Like I've known Brad for 10 years, and like that is like brand new information. All listeners should feel honored to learn this, because even I, as a good friend of Brad, had no fucking idea that you were like related to Jimmy Carville and lepers and whatever the fuck.
Does this change your opinion of me, Mira? Do you see me differently now?
Yeah, the podcast is over. I quit. We're done. This is this friendship over. Consider it done. I will do I will publicly disown you as a friend and make sure that everybody knows. That is, I can't wait to tell Tyler. He's going to be so amused.
Yeah. I have a rich Southern history, Wow. I've never been, and strangely, like, my mom never took us to Carville when we were kids.
Yeah, I wonder
So
why she never took you to the leper colony when you were children.
no, but I mean, people who listen to the literary interviews that I do on this show might have heard my conversation with an author named Wendy Chin Tanner, and she wrote a novel called The King of the Armadillos, and it's about uh, a guy based on her father who contracted Hansen's disease and had to go to Carville, and it's set at the leper. And so she didn't know about my personal.
Whoa.
So I read her book and I'm like, holy shit. And then I like on the interview or in the interview was basically like, by the way, and totally blew her mind. She ended up having dinner with my uncle, who is a Catholic priest. He was very kind and took her out, but
Your uncle's a Catholic priest?
like 3 of my aunts, like my mom comes from a family of 9 children, and I want to say 3 of her sisters were nuns.
This is like the Brad Lore episode. Like your aunts are nuns and your uncle is a
Yeah.
priest? What the fuck?
He's still a priest, and a very good one. He's a very, very cool guy. And then my aunts who were nuns gave up the habit. They were nuns like back in those days and in that place, like it was not uncommon for girls to
You would
go
just
off.
become a nun.
Yeah, like Bride of Christ, But then they were like,
That's
actually,
crazy.
right. Very
God
Catholic.
damn.
Yeah, very
Wow.
Catholic.
You are
My
very much not a Jew like I am, even a little bit.
I mean, I'm not Catholic. I haven't been
But like
religious.
from your past, like your ancestry.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely there. But my grandmother had a Pope on her keychain. That's what I remember when you'd like get in her car with her. She had like a John Paul II like keychain.
Was it like a figurine of
yes,
like the Pope?
Yes.
Wow. Well, speaking of Catholicism, I think that's a good kind of a good
Segue.
transition into our next topic. It's a medium good segue. So, Kanye West, famous anti-Semite Kanye West, famous Nazi, has been. Well, so this week he's been fucking going insane on Twitter and just posting, like, just doing another one of his fucking crazy ass things where he just posts a bunch of awful shit where he's like, this time he was like, I have dominion over my wife. Of course I have dominion over my wife. And he was like, fuck it. I'm a Nazi. I love Hitler. Hitler was cool as hell. And like posting like, I denied photos with 3 Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs this week. Just the most crazy shit that you can possibly imagine. Like just out of his fucking mind. And then during the Super Bowl, he had a commercial. Did you see this, Brad?
I actually did. It was like the one where he's in the dental chair.
Yeah, so it's like he's in a dental chair and he has like diamond grills that have like vampire teeth, and he's just filming himself on an iPhone, and it's got like the Yeezy logo, and he's like, I spent all of my commercial budget on these teeth. Go to Yeezy.com, and that was the whole commercial. And then you go to Yeezy.com. And the only thing on Yeezy.com is a white shirt with a Jewish, with a Nazi swastika on it, a black swastika on it. And fun fact about that shirt, it is produced by Los Angeles Apparel, formerly American Apparel, run by Dove Charney, who is a famous sex pest who is known for taking out his dick and jerking off during like business meetings and shit like that, and a Jew. So that's a cool fun fact.
Wait, so Dove Charney's a Jew who agreed to print this swastika t-shirt?
Correct.
All right. This is all just I feel like Kanye West needs to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like put him in
at least he needs to be banned from everything. Like, why are they letting this man have Super Bowl commercials?
He lost his mind a long time ago, but he's flagrantly unwell and just needs to be like, he needs treatment.
Yeah, he needs treatment. He needs medication. He needs to be taken out of the public eye, and like people need to stop letting him do shit. Don't say yes to a Super Bowl commercial. Don't let him be on Twitter. I mean, I guess that's like whatever. It's owned by a Nazi, so that's just gonna happen. But like, you know, it's he needs to like don't let him on the red carpet at the Grammys. Like, just like don't let him do shit. Stop. Everyone needs to fucking stop.
If it doesn't happen after this, then like society truly is broken. Like you're not allowed
Yeah.
in polite society when you're saying that. Like it should have happened a long time ago, but this is it.
Yeah.
He fully went berserk and just came out with it.
Yeah.
And he basically is daring. He's basically daring us to say it's
To
over.
stop him. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like, so during this Twitter crazy shit that he did, he also, towards the end of it, before he deleted his account, he started posting just hardcore porn, just clips of just hardcore porn, just over and over and over again, which brought up the story that many years ago, when Daft Punk was recording with him, the famous song Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, when they were recording that with Kanye West, they said that he watched so much porn in the studio that they started hallucinating. Okay, and these are French people. Daft Punk are French people. If you're watching so much porn that two French DJs are starting to hallucinate in the studio, something is so, like, profoundly wrong. Like, that is wild.
Kanye's porn is too much. I'm
In France, we
hallucinating.
watch the porn all the time, and this is too much. I watch it every morning with the breakfast, and this is even too much for me.
This is very difficult for me to process.
In their Daft Punk masks, like
Yeah,
too much. How you say pornography?
Kanye, could you please take the porn off the big screen?
We are how you say trying to use our MIDI controllers.
I feel suffocated. How you say suffocate in my mask?
I am hallucinating nude women in my mask, and this time I don't like it.
Mon Dieu! What is it? Why are they? I mean, I get like as a like on an album cover or like even in a video or something, or I guess like I don't know. But this thing where they just wear helmets everywhere, you never see their faces. That's their
No,
thing.
never. That's their thing. I think it's kind of cool. I like it. They said that it was like the idea was they wanted, and this is like, translated from French, so I'm paraphrasing terribly, but they wanted it to be an art project that didn't have to do with like their faces, because like they were like, we're just white guys, our faces are boring, we might as well like make Daft Punk be about something more interesting than that and make every aspect of it be like an art piece, which like I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
So back to our story. Basically, so after he did this commercial, posted the swastika shirt, he has now been sued by Jewish employees, saying that he torments Jewish workers at Yeezy, which is not surprising. It's surprising that he's hired Jews.
I was gonna say, what's he doing with Jewish employees?
I mean, it must have been an accident. It must have been somebody else hiring them or something. Or maybe their last name wasn't Semitic enough. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so he like hire you and be like, wait, I thought your name was Mira Gonzalez.
Yeah,
like,
aren't you a Mexican? Oh no. So this says Kanye West bullies his Jewish staffers at Yeezy and rubs their noses in his adoration for Adolf Hitler and Nazis, according to a new lawsuit. He is being sued by a Jewish woman who claims that she worked as a marketing specialist at Yeezy until she was unceremoniously fired for having the gall to complain about his anti-Semitism. In the docs obtained by TMZ, the woman claims that Ye once texted her and another Jewish staffer in the group, "Welcome to the first day of working for Hitler." And then she says that Kanye messaged her personally and said, "I am a Nazi," in all capital letters, in response to her suggesting that he issue a statement condemning any ties with Nazism after his 2024 album sparked controversy for his anti-Semitic lyrics and cover art. She also claimed that Kanye would often berate and verbally abuse her in group chats, telling her to cut the bullshit and fuck out of here in one exchange. In another, she claims he called her a heartless sociopath and told her to shut the fuck up, bitch. Other bigoted vitriol Kanye allegedly sent her way. "Heil Hitler, you ugly as fuck, you a stupid ass corny bitch, you piece of shit, fuck you cunt." Okay, and then she even claims that Kanye messaged her, "You what's left after I said DEF CON," referencing an infamous 2022 tweet where he threatened to go DEF CON 3 on Jewish people. So, and then she says that Kanye once dared her, "Now you sue me, corny ass bitch." And she did sue him and is going after damages. And I hope she gets all of his money. I hope she gets his house. I hope she gets his money. I hope he loses custody of his kids. I hope that his wife breaks up with him. I hope his wife takes half of like the pennies that are left.
I'm going to be looking forward to Kanye West's collaborative podcast with Armie Hammer.
They both love Jesus.
It feels inevitable at this point that they're going to be on some sort of apology tour together. There's just going to be a series of these kinds of shows of just like troubled men who are just...
I think the difference between Kanye and Armie Hammer is that Kanye doesn't want to apologize and he never will. He understands that apologizing he believes that apologizing means losing, means saying you were wrong. Kanye will always just double down. Like, he probably thinks Armie is weak for not doubling down.
That's the culture we live in now, is like the double down, never apologize. Yeah. That's the ethos of Trump. That's like spread.
It's what Roy Cohn taught Trump back in the day. It all comes from Roy Cohn. It's his philosophy. Never admit you're wrong. Ever. Never apologize. Never admit you're wrong. Always double down or move on. That was like what he taught Trump, and that's like how we're where we are today.
Did you see the movie The Apprentice? Did you see the...
No, but I really want to.
Yeah,
did you?
I did too. No, I didn't see it. Maybe we can watch it and talk about it.
Yeah, we should watch it this week and talk about it next
week.
Week.
Kanye West needs like mental health care and like some time away. I feel like he needs to be just like shipped off to some sort of like inpatient treatment for like 6 months and just like given some Thorazine or whatever they give people who have lost their minds. Like,
I mean, Jesus Christ, he needs to just like move to the middle of nowhere and start a new life where none of us have to see him.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. I don't ever want to see him again. Like, just go away, dude.
I don't want to see his ugly face or his weird refrigerator-shaped body. I don't want to see him fucking out here getting a fucking blowjob on a fucking boat in Italy. I don't want to see his fucking ugly clothes, which have always fucking sucked, by the way. He's got a terrible taste in fashion and aesthetics. And I agree 1,000% with, I think it was Jeremy Scott, who said that his shit was boring and not taking fashion anywhere.
He was filmed in Italy getting a BJ on a boat? Or he filmed himself?
It was like, they got pictures of it, like paparazzi.
Okay, so here's a question. Does he ever, like, he can't see those kids with Kim Kardashian that he has. Like, does she have...
Isn't that fucked up?
Do they share custody?
Yeah.
If I'm Kim Kardashian, I'm talking to my lawyer. She wants custody.
Yeah, I think she has been.
Oh my God.
I think also it's like the kids, like she doesn't want it to be like, you know, like in the show you can see that she's like, their family is like very patriarchal. Like Chris is like, the mom Chris is like very misogynist and weird about like all of the men. And so like she's really got this like deep in her mind that she has to like find a way to get along with him. And it seems terrible for the children.
Listen, I'm all for making efforts to get along with your children's.
Sure,
if he's not a Nazi, even if the marriage goes sideways.
Yeah, of course.
You keep it cordial. That's the parent of your grandchildren. You know, I get the logic, but like this is way out of control.
Yeah, this is something else. This is like no. These kids aren't like safe. Like you got to get them out, like for literally safety reasons. I don't think he's like a responsible father who can be in charge of children.
What's Armie and Kanye's podcast going to be called? Like the Nazi Cannibal Apology Hour? Or like, what do we even...
Like, I mean, apology time or like never apologize or fucking we're insane, take us to a psych ward, help us. Like
Armie, like the show will be like Armie will be eating one of Lauren Boebert's ribs. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Kanye reviews like Leni Riefenstahl movies. I don't even know what he would do, but
all the Republicans are going to become cannibals to own the libs.
I bet you there are some Republican cannibals. I think that's coming
I'm
too.
Sure. There's probably liberal cannibals too, honestly. I'll bet they're among us.
Yeah.
Are you a cannibal, Brad? You never know.
I definitely am not. I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan. I'm
gentle. Other animal meat.
I'm gentle. Yeah, I only eat human flesh.
Yeah, that's it. Because of the health benefits.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who collapses in fear at like seeing, somebody pooping in a bathroom. I'm not down with human beings.
Cannibalism makes me so nauseated that I can't like watch a movie in which cannibalism is involved, like at all. Like I can't do it. It's one of the only things.
I'm reading a book right now that's like very into like the body horror of it all, and it's like, okay, like
I
I'm
love
gonna
body horror, but the cannibalism is where like it's the one thing I can't do.
Well, there's some of that, it's like just like kind of gross out stuff, but
Yeah, I don't like it when it's just for grossing out. I like a body horror with a purpose.
body horror with meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Oh, so I think it's time for a very exciting Brad Learns.
Whoa. Brad Learns.
So today's Brad Learns is about what, Brad? Why don't you ask the question you have?
I mean, I think we've talked about this on the show before, at least in passing, or maybe we did a segment on it, but I feel like it needs to be revisited because we saw Kendrick Lamar perform at halftime of the Super Bowl to, I think, pretty wide acclaim. I think it was generally acclaimed, his performance.
People liked it.
Yeah, except for like the white supremacist right wingers who were like, "Oh, this is a DEI halftime show." I saw some jackass,
so fucking stupid.
But the thing that I like, it was again, the entire thing was basically him dissing Drake. And,
yeah.
And then Serena Williams was out there dancing, which I got, some thoughts on that. Like, first of all, like I remember watching it and being like, wait a minute, is that Serena Williams?
Same.
It was like out of context for me.
Yeah, I was like, that's someone. Is it Serena?
She looked great. I feel like she lost a lot of weight.
I feel like she's on Ozempic, honestly. Like, I feel like post, because like when she's playing, she's got to be like, muscular, and like she's got to be like, I have to imagine like strong. And she looks like she's lost a lot of weight. I feel like maybe she hit the Ozempic a little bit post tennis, although maybe she just lost the weight. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, and then I guess Drake was ranting about his exes, like at some show that he was doing
at the same time.
At around the same time, but like, just break down like why, like, and the thing too is that I noticed on Twitter, like people are just like gleeful at Kendrick Lamar just like roasting Drake, like they cannot get enough of the takedown. Which I get it if Drake, Drake is problematic, and I think you've talked about how he has a thing for young, like underage girls and stuff like that. Like, okay, fair enough, but like people, the bloodlust, people love savage takedowns, I guess. That's the thing. Does that feel problematic to you?
I have a lot of thoughts on this. So like, I don't think that takedowns in a song or rap beefs or disses or whatever, I don't have any issue with that inherently. I think that they can be, I don't want people to like die like Biggie and Pac, but like, I get that like oftentimes it's like fun, or it's like record label synergy or whatever it is, and like fine. And sometimes, like, it can be satisfying because the person really deserves it. I personally fucking hate Drake, and I always have. Even when people love Drake, I fucking hated his ass. I'll say the same about Kanye.
Why? Why did you hate Drake?
I never liked his music. He always struck me as kind of a weird dude. I never liked his whole, like, oh, I'm like a sensitive, like, oh, lover boy. Like, it just kind of made me a little nauseated from the get-go. Like, I wasn't like he's a bad person, but I just never really liked his whole shtick. I was like never into it. It kind of creeped me out.
He's not, to the best of our knowledge, a fan of the Third Reich.
No, he, and in fact is a Jew, I believe. So
wait, Drake is Jewish?
I think so. Yeah, I believe he's a Jew.
All right.
Canadian Jew. So basically, let's see, how can I explain this best? So I'm not totally sure exactly how the feud began. I think there was some sort of inciting incident. Maybe Tyler knows. Tyler, do you know how the feud between Travis and Drake began? Not Travis.
Travis? Kendrick.
No. So yeah, we don't know. So the feud started somehow. And then they were doing kind of diss tracks back and forth. Like in the beginning, Drake did one that was like, oh, Kendrick, you're short. Haha. And then Kendrick kind of just like responded with like the nuclear option and just like came back to him with this song called Not Like Us, which is like an incredibly catchy song that is played everywhere and is like, it just goes through your head. It's like a really good pop song.
I listened to it this morning because I was curious. Because I don't understand a lot of what is being said. Like, I'm trying to follow and it's hard for me. And so I had to listen to it to try to parse it.
Yeah. So like he responded with this song that essentially, And he also responded with like a picture of Drake's house on the Megan's Law website, which is the website where you can see where registered sex offenders live. And like it's just like a red spot over Drake's house, just full of registered sex offenders in his staff who like live in his little compound. And Kendrick
Wait, like
posted
for
that.
real?
Yeah, like for real, actually. And so Kendrick posted that along with the song. And in the song, he essentially like Drake was like, "You're short, haha." And Kendrick responded like, "You're literally a pedophile. Like, you're a pedophile, Drake," which just like nuclear option, like, whoa, okay, buddy. Like went from like a funny kind of like, you know, haha, we hate each other rap beef to like, this man is a pedophile who fucks children. Like, just insane. So he came out with Not Like Us. Everyone loved it. Somehow the entire tide turned against Drake. Like in just this one moment, everybody was like, oh, actually, fuck Drake. And so I have a lot of thoughts about this personally, but I'll just get to the end. So basically, at the Grammys, Kendrick performed Not Like Us. And like, there's a part in the song that everybody sings along to really loudly, which is, well, I guess there's, in the very beginning, he goes, "Hey Drake, I hear you like 'em young." And everybody thought that he was not going to be allowed to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl because it says Drake's name. Like, it doesn't just like allude to it. It literally says like, "Hey Drake, I think you like 'em young," or "I heard you like 'em young." And so there's a moment, and it's become like a meme where you can see he's like holding the mic and he turned around to the camera and he like smiled really big and was like, "Hey Drake, I hear you like 'em young." And everybody was like, "Oh fuck, he's playing it at the Super Bowl, like shit." And like then there's another part of the song where he's like, "Drake, you struck a chord and it was probably A minor, like a minor." And everyone, like, I swear to God, when I was watching it, the like everybody at the Super Bowl said A minor so loud that I like put my hand over my mouth. I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, if I was Drake...
Why did I not notice this? I watched the halftime show, but
I watched it again, and when he says A minor, the whole stadium is like, A minor! Like, it, and the same with the Grammys. Everybody in the fucking whole music industry was like, A minor! Like, if I were Drake, like, I would kill myself so hard, it would be like a historical moment of suicide. Like, I would kill myself so hard that, like, I would, like, a whole country would go down with me. Like, it, like, holy fucking shit. But I have, like, perhaps an opinion on this that is not as fun and, like, maybe too woke, and I'm sorry, everybody. But I actually don't think it's too woke, and I think I'm correct. My feeling is that if Drake is a pedophile, if Kendrick knows he's a pedophile enough to sing a song about how he's a pedophile and seemingly not be afraid of, like, being sued a million times over, then, like, it doesn't really seem like the kind of thing that you write a diss track about. It seems like the kind of thing that you call the fucking police about and say, this man is fucking children. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like pedophilia is just kind of like not really like a funny topic to me. Like, to be just like writing a diss track about. Like, if someone needs to like do something, like, everyone's like, haha, Drake's a pedophile. Where are the kids? Why isn't he in jail? Why is he just like out here talking about his exes on stage if he's a pedophile? Why is everyone just singing like, haha, A minor, Drake, I hear you like 'em young, and that's it? Like, yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like the not whole, like
the whole like Super Bowl crowd is all just like laughing and
drinking haha, their, like, pedophile,
drinking their hurricanes, and
it's like, yeah, like, okay, like, I get it, like, I agree. Drake is a fucking creep. He probably is a pedophile. He clearly likes him young. That is absolutely true. But like, it's not like cool or like funny or like righteous to just be like, haha, Drake's a pedophile. The end. Let's not examine that thought any longer. Like, why isn't there like a legal issue? Why isn't Drake being questioned, or why isn't Drake and Kendrick being questioned by law enforcement? Why isn't Drake's house being raided? Like, what's going on? Like, the only situation in which this seems even vaguely acceptable to me is if he's clearly a pedophile, Kendrick knows he's a pedophile, and the police have already investigated him and just like cleared him of wrongdoing when he clearly is a pedophile. In which case, Kendrick should come forward and say that. Not just write a song like, I heard you like 'em young. And like, I like the song as much as anybody else. I laughed when they said A minor. But like, let's be real here. That's my take.
I think it's a solid take. I don't understand too, like, another part of the Brad Learns is like, Serena used to date Drake. Serena Williams used to date Drake. And then now she's out at halftime and she's like a dancing girl, like a dancer for Kendrick, which was like kind of, I don't think any moment. But she looked good. She can dance.
She looked great. She can dance.
Yeah.
She was like dancing just as well as any of the other professional dancers.
Yeah. So here's my question, though. She's clearly got a beef with Drake, too, as his ex. Did he do something to her that I'm not aware of? Or was he just like a bad boyfriend?
I'm not
Like,
totally
generally.
aware of like the history of their relationship. I know that he has like a long history of cheating, like really badly. And like I know that when he was dating Rihanna, he got a porn star pregnant, with his son Adonis. And so, you know, Rihanna fucking hates his guts, and I think a lot of people started hating him after that on Rihanna's behalf.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He cheated on Rihanna.
I know, right? Like, how the fuck do you cheat on Rihanna? Like, that's fucking crazy. And like after like a decade of Drake like chasing her, being like, I love Rihanna, Rihanna's the best, and finally she's like, all right, fuck it, I'll give you a chance, why not? And then he fucking gets another girl pregnant. What a fucking dumbass. It's the biggest fumble in all history of fumbles.
You wonder, the thing about it is that like I feel like in our culture, unless he actually faces criminal charges or gets into serious legal trouble, it kind of probably just helps him. Any publicity is good publicity in this world,
Although,
right?
I don't know. I feel like he kind of actually, like, this one, it seems like it kind of actually maybe took him down. Like, his ticket sales are, like, down the gutter. There's, like, no Drake stans defending him. Like, I think, like, everyone loved the song so much that it's a real problem. And Drake has, like, pending lawsuits against UMG, against Kendrick's staff, like, against his producers. Like, he's got like lawsuits. And I have to imagine, like, the NFL, I don't know how the NFL let him do that. Like, that's like, they're opening themselves up to crazy lawsuits.
Isn't it like First Amendment? Like,
not if it's like character defamation. Because it's like either, like, he's kind of put himself in a situation here where either he proves Drake is a pedophile or he loses a massive character defamation case. Because it's like, the two options here are Drake is a pedophile and he's singing a song about it and not doing anything, or Drake's not a pedophile and he's accusing Drake of being a pedophile. Either option seems really bad, and it seems like he can only win a character defamation case if he proves that what he's saying is true.
So it'll be Armie Hammer, Kanye, and Drake.
Exactly, and they're all going to be like talking about different horrible shit. Armie's going to be like, I love cannibalism, and Drake's going to be like, that's a little weird, but I do love fucking kids. And Kanye's going to be like, I don't know about this whole shit, I just want to kill the Jews. And like, that's going to be the whole podcast.
By the way, this is unrelated, but I just discovered that Mike Tyson has a podcast.
What?
Like this, I can't believe I didn't know this. It's called Hot Boxing.
That's that. Is it like a weed related podcast?
It's just him. He's the host, and it's a two-way.
But like Hot Boxing is not like a weed reference or anything?
Oh, I mean it is, but it's also boxing. I mean, it's just kind of like it's a good
like
name.
Boxing, but like, yeah.
But he's just like, things were crazy in the 1980s. I had sex with 600 women in the weekend. Like when I was in prison.
Your Mike Tyson impression is like so good, like it's gonna get you canceled. Like it's like too good. Like it's too powerful.
I got laid a lot in prison. It was crazy.
Dude, holy fuck. Who has he talked to on his podcast? Who's been guests?
A lot of big name people will go on and talk to him.
Wow.
It's like my dream. I have a whole like library of Mike Tyson hotboxing episodes to go through. So I'm very excited about it.
We got to start a petition to get you on that podcast. If any listeners have any connection to Mike Tyson at all, we have to get Brad on that podcast. Like, I am begging you. I will send feet pics if necessary.
I hear you do an impression of me, and it's somewhat offensive. And
he would like give you a concussion if you did that. You do that impression, and he would like hit you so hard in the face that you died.
I was gonna say a concussion would be friendly. That guy punched me once, I would be dead. That would be it.
Oh, same, absolutely. Like he could punch me one time and I would die instantly. It would be like One Punch Man, like the anime character One Punch Man who kills everybody in one punch.
Mike Tyson's like a demonstrably better person than Armie Hammer, Drake, and Kanye. That's where we are.
He did go to prison for a rape, though.
That's the joke. Is that like things have gotten so out of hand. It's like Mike Tyson's really holding the line for us at this point.
He's like our moral barometer of like, okay, this is the limit. Like, you know, we'll allow him to be there, but if he goes to prison for rape one more time, you know, that's it.
What would Mike do?
What would Mike do? He'd bite the ear off is what he would do.
I'll eat your children. Praise be Allah. I love that shit.
God.
There are few people make me laugh harder than like Mike Tyson when he's just ranting. It's
when
so
he's
funny.
just talking. All he's got to do is just like get on a subject, and like it is so fucking funny.
It's good stuff.
Mike Tyson, if you'd like to come on the pod, open invitation.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for the week. I did learn a lot. I appreciate the insight, Mira. I feel like I know more about this Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and I think Serena Williams deserves a lot of credit for like star quality, you know, and just being out there dancing.
1,000%.
Like, she was sort of just like, it's kind of like she was just rubbing it in his face. She was dancing on his grave almost.
It was pretty funny, honestly. That I can get behind. That's like, all right, yeah, you go, Serena, get it.
That's like high quality petty behavior.
Yeah, that kind of petty behavior, like, yeah, you go.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for listening. Mira and I will be back next week to talk about all things popular culture and to try to bring some clarity to the chaos of our world.
Thanks for listening.